Hello, my YouTube friends. Today is a special day, and I want to say thank you to all the viewers that I have in my channel. Thank you for all the likes, for following my channel, for supporting my channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Today's a special day because I work with a girl called Anna, and her daughter's birthday is tomorrow, and she follows me on YouTube. She loves to cook. She's a great cook. I've known her for about 10 years, and tomorrow is going to be her birthday. She's going to turn 20. So from Raquel, Batista, myself, and the whole pharmacy department, we say happy birthday to our Nina. She's going to be 20 years old. We wish you all the best things in the world. You're a great daughter, and your sister as well. You have a beautiful family, and I love your mom. I've known her for so many years, more than 10 years, and I wish you all the best from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for following my recipes, and for being such a great, wonderful, beautiful person. I wish you the best of everything. God bless you. Okay guys, now that the session of Cuban coffee is over, I had another video in mind. This is a meal that I always cook when we have parties at work, and they love this combination. It's a combination of Asian and Cuban, and they love it. This is a combination of chicken with soy sauce and green onions, plus all the other ingredients that I usually add. And the other ingredient is black beans and rice, and that combination is incredible. They all love it. The good thing about it is that chicken is one thing that people eat a lot, and it's not like pork. A lot of people say they don't eat pork. Are you guys ready to cook up a storm? Because I'm ready. I'll show you the best meal you'll ever. Okay, I got my black beans ready. I soaked them earlier for a couple of hours, and I'm going to put them in this pot. Usually if you use a high pot, it's better, because when the water starts boiling, then it won't spill, and you'll be able to maneuver it better. So I'm going to put it on medium high. For the meal that I'm going to prepare today for you, the Asian and Cuban combination, these are the ingredients that we are going to use today. We have sea salt, we have onion powder, olive oil, Italian parsley, Italian seasoning. We have the green onions, we have the garlic, red pepper, bell pepper, tomatoes, we have lemon, onion, we have oregano, and we have olives, black pepper, and I usually use honey mustard. We have the garlic powder. We have lemon juice. I also use regular fresh lemon. We have the vinegar, and of course we use Uncle Ben's. And last but not least, we use the soy sauce. This is the last ingredient. This will give it a special flavor. Okay, since I usually cook for the whole department where I work at the pharmacy, I bring this bag home. It's 10 pounds of country fried leg quarters. I clean it, I cut it, wash it, and then I prepare it. I'll show you how. While the beans are boiling, I'm going to be working on the chicken, and then I'll show you how to clean it and prepare it and season it. Okay, I'm going to cut the bag of chicken, and I'll show you how to clean it. I usually take the skin off because you don't want to leave anything. You want to have a nice clean piece of chicken. I usually wash it really nice. I tear the skin off. You can do it with early teeth. Some people don't like the skin. And I cut this part off. The end. Make sure all the fat is taken off. The less fat, the better. Take this off here on this side. Leave it nice and clean. And that way it'll be ready to cut. Nice clean piece of chicken. You take this off, the skin, then you cut it in half like this. Okay. After you do this, then you want to cut off the ends of the leg. You want to get rid of this bone and then just leave the meat. So you cut it up about this side, close to the meat, and you bang it with a knife on top of the board. Take this off, and then I usually cut this in half because you want to make it very small. So it'll be nice bite-sized pieces of chicken. You don't want to have a whole big piece. That way everybody could have a lot of chicken in little bits and enjoy. So what I do is I grab this end here, and right in the middle I put the knife and cut. Be careful with your hands and use hit the bone. It's right, the bone is right across, horizontal, vertical. And you hit it a couple of times, and it cracks, just like this. You have to wash it before you put it in the pot. You're gonna wash it later on anyway, because then I wash it with lemon and vinegar. Is very important when you work with chicken and cook with chicken. You have to clean it with vinegar and lemon. Now this part here, I cut it in half. So I do the same process, same procedure. You grab the knife and then you hit it a couple of times, and it splits. You have to wash it because a lot of times you have small pieces of bone that are in there loose, and you don't want to bite into that. You want to have a nice clean piece of chicken. And this is the process to do the whole bag of chicken. This is the one I showed you for now, but it's going to be the same thing. Always try to get rid of all the extra fat to have a nice clean piece of chicken. All this fat I cut off. See, nice and clean. Always wash your hands when you work with chicken. At the hospital where we work at, we're so concerned about hand washing. It is really necessary. You always have to wash your hands and make sure before you touch anything. And after you work with chicken and you cook with chicken, you always have to wash your hands. One thing I notice about some restaurants that I go to, I see the people who serve you the food, they wear jewelry. They wear all the strings that they tie around their wrist, and I see the handling of the food. And even if they wash their hands, they still have the jewelry, which sweats on your body. They have all the strings that have been tied in there on the arm for God knows how long. And you have sweat, you have everything there, and you're rubbing it against the food, and they should not allow that. They should have clean hands, everything clean, wash all the way to your elbows before you start cooking, and that's the way we're used to. We're so concerned about hand washing. It's in our head constantly. We have to wash our hands all the time. Okay, you had an overview of what I've done, but I wanted to give you a side view. Maybe it'll help you and make it much easier. Always remember to sharpen your knife before you start. Okay, I washed the chicken. The first part that I cut out is the butt piece. I don't like the butt piece. You cut that out. And then you peel the skin off, and you know it has that slimy texture. You have to take that out as well to keep very nice and clean. Cut out all the fat. Clean it out. That would look nice and clean. You don't want any fat hanging somewhere. And in this end, I usually put my finger right through here, and you take out all this extra that you don't need. Wash it again. Okay. If you don't want to do this cut like this because you're scared, you could always cut it like this in between the bones and do the same procedure. You cut by hitting with your hand against the board, and you have a nice cut. And you cut right here, close to the end of the meat, to cut the bone off. You don't want any bones, you don't need them. So you cut right about here, bang it. Nice straight cut. Then you peel off all this extra skin. Always clean it out really nice. See, this is a nice piece of chicken. You could cut it in half, because the smaller it is, the more gourmet it will look. This will be like gourmet cooking. You cut it in half, like this. Bang it. Split. Wash it to get rid of all those little bones that are left, all the little particles. You don't want to bite into that, you want to bite into the meat, not the bones. Then this part here, the bone, you can feel the bone right here. You cut a cross. Hit it with the knife. Be careful and just hit it 2 or 3 times. Okay, well, we've been doing preparing the chicken. The beans are boiling, and the way that you could know how the beans are ready to be cooked is if you grab one bean, and if you could press it with your finger and smash it like this, the beans are ready. You don't want to eat hard beans or too soft, because we're going to cook it with the Uncle Ben's rice, and that'll be an extra heating procedure. And then sometimes I stick it in the oven, so that way the rice will open up completely and you have a nice set of loose rice. That's why I like Uncle Ben's. Uncle Ben's rice is the best one for this kind of food. If you cook it with other rice, it might come in sticky, mushy, and you don't want that. You want a nice texture. You want the rice to roll in your spoon and roll right into the plate. Now that the beans are ready, I set them aside, I turn off the heat, and I'm going to clean the chicken. The only pieces that I've done is the one that I showed you, so I have to get to it and go through all the bag. So as soon as I'm done, I'll get back to you. How do you like it so far? Are you happy? Are you hungry? Just be patient. The chicken, I put it on top of the stove. I put it on medium-high. And then I'm going to be adding the ingredients that I showed you before at the beginning of the video. I'm going to start with the salt. I'm going to use sea salt. You could always add salt later on if it's not salty enough. The worst thing you could do is put too much and then you can't fix it. The reason why sometimes it's salty because you put a lot, and the only solution that I find for it, I usually add a little bit of honey. You put honey, and that'll help out. Or you could add potatoes. Potatoes absorb the salt. Now I'm going to add the onion powder. You know, I always eyeball everything. I don't measure. It always comes out good. You don't need all this measuring. I got the garlic powder. This is going to be great, you see. And then of course you're going to get that beautiful color when you add the soy sauce. Because I don't like pale food. I said it before on my video. Oregano.
Everything you put in there is gonna make the special taste. It's not like my own recipes. I just like to add everything I have in the closet. Mustard. I got the honey mustard. And then I have the black pepper. Sprinkle some of that. Throw some olives in here with the vinegar. And I could add some later on. And one ingredient that I did not show you because I had it inside the fridge is what I used before, the capers. I like capers. I guess I learned it when I used to live in Spain from 68 to 1970 when we came from Cuba. In order to come to Miami, we had to go through Spain, and they usually use a lot of capers in their meals, and it was a great experience. They were incredible. The food is amazing. I went to Malaga not too long ago with my spouse Alex, and we had a great time. Malaga is like Miami Beach, and this is the Italian seasoning that I bought. I'm gonna try it out. Can't go wrong because it's Italian, it's gotta be good. They have so many ingredients there. This is from McCormick. I got it from Publix. I'm gonna let this chicken cook. I'll cover it up, and then I'm gonna work on my black beans and rice. I wanted to show you this set of wooden utensils. This was given to me by a girl who works with me. Her name is Idalmi. She brought it directly from Cuba. They're hand carved. When she went to Cuba on her last trip, she gave it to me, and it was the most precious gift that she could ever give me. And these are little gifts that people give you that mean so much. You don't need a lot. So I wanted to show you. They're really, really nice. Stirring the chicken now so I could add all the onions, all the vegetables. I'm chopping them down, and then I'll put them in the pot and I'll show you. Okay, I got all my vegetables cut, and I'm going to add it to the pot. I got the onion, the bell pepper, tomatoes, and the Italian parsley. The last one that I'm going to add at the end is the scallions, because if you overcook them, you'll lose the flavor. Alright, I have all my vegetables cut. I'm going to pour it in the pot. Cut them real nice and small. And then I'm going to be adding the soy sauce to give it that nice color. And I'll cover it up on medium-low so I can start with my black beans and rice. And I'll show you how that's done. See how nice the pieces are? Let it there to sit and absorb all these wonderful flavors. I'm going to add the soy sauce to give it that beautiful color. I didn't add too much salt at the beginning because, you know, soy sauce is kind of salty, so you don't want to make it salt. And if you ever make your food too salty, remember what I do is you just pour some honey, and that'll contrast that salty flavor. So you have a little bit of both, like a sweet and sour. I could add more salt later on. I'm just going to cover it up on medium-low and let it cook. And I'll concentrate now on the black beans and rice. Now I'm ready to pour my rice. I usually use the same measuring cup I used for the video before when I make Cuban coffee. I'm going to make 5 cups of rice. That's for 30 people, that should be enough. Wash the rice. Okay, my friends, I cut up another set of the same vegetables, same ingredients that I used at the beginning, and I cut them all up, and I'm going to put them on olive oil and saute them for a little while, and this is going to go together with the black beans and rice. I got it now on low heat. I put olive oil in this pan, so it'll cook slowly. And this is what I'm going to add to the black beans and rice. It will give it a Great flavor. I usually like to use an onion, full bell pepper, a lot of ingredients, not just half or a quarter. So the more that I put in, I feel that it tastes better. I'm gonna raise it up to a little medium high, so it'll cook nicely. And once this is done, I'll pour it in inside the pot. I got the rice already washed, and once I got that going, then I start adding the black beans. You see how nice the chicken is coming along? It's on medium low because you want to cook it all the way down to the bone, and that way it'll be perfect. I always love to cook this plate because this dish everybody loves. And tomorrow I'm going to work and I'm going to surprise everybody. When I go work at 12 noon, I'm going to show up for lunch. And they're going to have all this chicken, and they're going to have the black beans and rice. They won't have to buy lunch in the cafeteria because they love my chicken. Great combination. You could also add salad on the side. You could fry plantains. We usually do that. You could add just about anything. Okay, now that I cooked my onion, bell pepper, and everything else that we put in at the beginning, I'm gonna pour it over the rice. So it'll absorb the good flavor. Now it'll cook together, and then I will pour the black beans. I usually use the water from the black beans instead of the this water from like tap water, because that way it'll grab all the flavor from the black beans. I'm gonna see if I could pour it in here. It'll be better. I could just pour everything in. So for 5 cups of 5 cups of rice, you have half a bag of black beans. That way it'll cook nicely. And remember, the beans are already soft. You can smash them with your fingers. That's how you know they're ready. Because then you're gonna cook them in here with the rice. You're gonna put it on like medium high at the beginning. You don't want to burn them. So medium high, and then once they start boiling, you bring them down to medium low. You stir it really good. If you have to add any salt later on or any other ingredients, you could do so. I wanted to show you this bottle. It's called Medina, and it's chocolate color. If you pour this chocolate color while you're making your black beans and rice, it'll turn it darker. And it won't taste like chocolate, just a little darker, just like the restaurants, just like the Cuban cuisine restaurants you see here in Florida. Just pour a little bit on, and that's it. While it's cooking, see? Just to give it a little darker color. And it'll look just like restaurant cooking. And, oh my God, it's beautiful. I love it. Add half a tablespoon of salt, because remember I added soy sauce to the chicken, and that way this will balance out the flavor. You want to make it salty on both ends. I lowered the temperature for the rice because you see how it's raising up. It's cooking slowly, and you don't want it to burn. So if you lower the temperature, it'll cook nicely. You don't have to hurry it. And it looks wonderful. I'm almost done with this meal. I'm just going to lower this a little bit, and then I'll pour some olive oil at the end. Medium low or very low. And I'll let it sit there cooking very slowly. Okay, my friends, this meal is almost done. Now when the rice is almost finished cooking, what we usually do, we grab a paper bag, brown paper bag, and we put it on top of the pot. We cover it up so that way it'll cook better. This is an old trick. You cover it up and at the end you just take it out and the rice will be open, because you could also put it in the oven, but I'm not going to do that now. Cover it like this, and you put the top on, you let it cook on very low. The chicken is done, so remember at the end I was going to add the scallions, the green onions. You add this at the end just for decoration, and that way they'll stay nice and crunchy. Decorate the chicken and make it look tasty. Enjoy. Yeah, enjoy.
It's the perfect start to the weekend.
Well, hope you enjoyed this video. Till the next one. See ya.